Hello, guys. Listen to that overworld theme. Well, it's at a dull part, but it sounds more appropriate now, I think, than it did when it first came around. During the downtime between the two videos, I went ahead and handed out all the affection boosts, all the items, except the action textbook too, because there isn't anyone in particular that I want to give that to right now. A little later down the road, I'm sure there will be. I did, however, wait to give out the operation permit to the Copa mercenaries. I always said that I'd use it just once. We'll see. I might leave it on them in particular. As long as it's just one unit, it's not really that bothersome. But, you know, a few battles here with the Demon Army might go on for a while, and I don't want to waste your time entirely, you know? I want to be a cool guy. So, let's start taking some of these territories. You can tell that the music, you know, the good music, only plays when the Demon Army's attacking you. Your same theme still plays when you're attacking them. I will always scout them for obvious reasons. Needless, mostly not, you know, ones I need to talk about, but, they have some powerful units that I want to be prepared for should they show up. This group here isn't really special. Deploy Rance. Get Yamamoto. She hasn't seen the action that I've. Well, actually, that's not true. Her troop size is pretty large. She's one of my larger units at this point in the game. Yeah. I'd say in your first playthrough, where I'm at right now, all my troop sizes are spot on. They wouldn't be much higher than this. For you either. I haven't really been investing into any of them a whole bunch, but it's fairly normal. Yeah, so in the last part, there was the Demon Army Blitz. Kind of a big deal. Kind of my favorite part of the game. A few, all the really awesome parts happen right at the end of the game. And that's one of them, in my opinion. It's not like the Takeda Blitz where it just keeps happening or anything, and I guess they're really comparable to one another. But the Demon Army Blitz just means more to me because it's not expected at all. I mean, they warn you about Takeda a whole bunch, but you don't expect when you're touching the Demon Army to get that. And I liked it. Now, the Shimazu brothers, the same plans and the same strategies I used against them in the Blitz work throughout the game. I mean, you stop seeing them after a while because in True Route, all of the Shimazu brothers die. You only kill one of them. The other three are killed by the Demon Army. Well, no, that's not true. I guess you kill two of the Shimazu brothers. And they just start to fade out. You'll see all of their death sequences and everything, and there's a unique attack that happens with the Shimazu brothers that, it's comparable to, I haven't really gone over it, but, a Mori final battle, big battle confrontation. I'll go over that in another playthrough as well, I suppose, but, when you're battling Mori, occasionally you'll be given an option to, go full force against full force, and if you win, you take their territory. You lose, you get a game over. And I love that. That's fun because you don't have to sit there and fucking deal with some of the bullshit fights in Mori that they have at their castles. You can just do the big battles and, you know, be done with it. Well, Shimazu kind of does one of those. It's just the four brothers against whatever you deploy. It's not really that hard, to be honest. Watch me fucking fail it. No, but, that's one of the huge parallels between Rance and the Shimazu brothers. And I'll point that out when we see it again, but it's not a mistake or, a chance that they're similar to one another, the Shimazu brothers and Rance. There are a lot of similarities between them, and you can probably see those now that I've mentioned it. Keep watching, and you'll see. I mean, they're womanizers. I don't know if you'd call Rance a womanizer or a rapist. Your call there, but yeah, it's in like Ran's route and the monkey route. They are kind of I don't want to say they're the primary aggressors, but they're one of them. They have some unique mechanics involved when you're fighting them. I mean, they're nowhere near as important as the Demon Army. And in Ran's route especially, there's another antagonist aside from the Shimazu brothers, but they're still in there. They were just talking about in that scene about taking their time, doing whatever the fuck they want, because they're not worried about losing. They're the Demon Army after all, so they don't have anything to worry about. Well, they do. Because they're not really that strong, you know? You'd think, what the fuck? Oh, Daidoji has won. Okay, there we go. Get out, Kentaro. By the way, I should say this. I didn't say it in the part where I got her. Gracie, I forget what her name is. Gracia. Akechi is neutral to you when you have him in your army. She hates you because I'm assuming it's because you teased her father, you know, and made him leave, but she hates you. She doesn't have like a route or anything like that. She's just there. Sorry, I'm taking a little longer on these screens. Oh fuck, I'm not gonna set it Kentaro. Okay, there. And this happens the second time you deploy Koime. Scared the fuck out of me the first time I saw it. I didn't know what was going on. Well, you don't either. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. Keep in mind, yokai cannot die, and that is a reoccurring issue with the game, I suppose. Obviously, all the yokai commanders from Dokuganryu can die in combat if you use them. They can be killed, which, after having seen this scene right here, makes absolutely zero sense to me. But, oh well. It's funny. 3G becomes 2G. Aw, yeah. He's still fucking smiling. He's got an arrow in his head and he's still smiling. The one that's sad, they don't even have that one there all the time. You can barely ever see him. That's cool. But the Demon Army isn't really hard after that blitz. And, you know, you like watch the brothers that show up and you watch Ragareta. And you take the necessary measures. But at this point, I have to push the Demon Army back, and they're gonna take Takuga. That's probably gonna happen in this part. If I don't want to be pestered by their bullshit, I've got to push them all the way back to Africa. I don't know if I've displayed that or shown to you that the place where the Shimazu brothers live is in fact called Africa. I don't know if I've shown that, but it is, and I have to push the Demon Army back to Africa in order to move on with the game. You can leave the Demon Army in your other territories, but they'll attack you from there, and it'll be really bothersome, so I'm just gonna weed them all out. Just clear it. And I over-deployed for this fight a lot, but that's cool. No worries there. That was a big slip-up in my last part. That thing I was saying about having a monk. Oh shit, she's right there. But she didn't have guard cancel. I was talking about having a monk with guard cancel, not Dosan-chan. I mean, I almost edited that out because that's a pretty fucking huge mistake to say, you know, and the tone I took with that, you know, like, you should have a monk, but whatever. Whatever. You get my slip-ups by now, I'm sure, or when I just look at a unit with a big troop size and say, that's tremendous. You know what I mean, right? Even though that statement doesn't really mean much, you get what I'm fucking talking about, so it's cool. This part's a huge tone down from the last one for me. I can just screw around. I don't have to worry about anything. I do have to worry about doing dungeons, because I still haven't done any, but, you know. That won't be as big of an issue in other parts as it is in this one. Or, I mean, other walkthroughs, not parts. You know what, Koime? Go ahead and attack. You're awesome. But, she's just so fucking cute when you see her sprite there, this little girl, with a war fan telling people to attack. I love that. And you can see there, Torin does hit pretty hard. I mean, it's better than you would probably expect from a tactician, considering your first impressions of a tactician are the worst tactician in the game, you know? And, I didn't show it, like, perfectly or anything, but, well, I didn't show it at all, but Gracia's stats, I didn't show the increases over her father. mostly because she's still not really a unit for me. I'm not using her. Her abilities are still low tier. You know, I mean, she still has buff 1 and debuff 1. I don't know their names. Add remove stats. There you go. She's still not really good, but should you upgrade Akechi, Gracia still receives those upgrades. You know, they don't take them away. And here's Takuga. They're being taken over by the Demon Army. And this is a pretty disturbing sequence, if you ask me, because that's Ryoma's family that was just killed in front of her. They weren't really expecting this, so it's a really rude awakening for them, and actually, they're all just being put to sleep in this scene. But it's not as sad with the Takeda generals. They expected something like that to happen, and they're warriors. That's what they do. These 4 are not warriors. This isn't what they wanted to happen. So it's disturbing because of that for me. Not nearly as disturbing as it is when they are killed in Kenshin's route. That is much worse. I like that one a whole bunch less than I mean, this one I'm okay with, I guess. But the death for them in Kenshin's route is very brutal. So yeah. But that's how it goes. Other places. I mentioned the Miko Institute gets taken over. Tokugawa doesn't. They get to sit. I mentioned what happens with Uesugi. I think I covered them all. I mean, I don't think I have any left, right? You've seen Mori and Takuga, no doubt. Oh, Senime. Send her in. Kasumi, sure. Son? Oh, yeah! Kento. Oh, I should scout. Fuck, what am I doing? Not Layla, she can't. Niwa, I still have Niwa. Yeah, and you can tell I didn't really give a fuck on some of those fights. When I deployed people like Niwa, come on. He's going out there? What the fuck? And this is a really easy fight. Let me see here. I want to war. No, they'll get tore up. Should bring a tactician. Yeah, there we go. That'll do. Kento doesn't need to go. They didn't have a diviner. And that fight in the last battle with the 2 diviners, that caught me really off guard. I was just like, oh, fuck. You serious? Alright. But I handled it. Kind of. Yeah, and also, I'll mention this now because I'm in combat, you know. I don't have a whole lot to talk about in this fight. You're fairly experienced with this by now. But I recorded most of those videos that I uploaded over a week or two, like a week and a half. I recorded all those in one day, and that was really nice. I liked doing that. Since then, I have actually gotten a job and things, so I've slowed down a whole bunch on the recordings. Still intend, I should have used his battle rating, oh well. Still intend to upload at the same pace. I like the 1 a day thing. Oh, and that Sengoku Rance HD video, that was funny. I said it in the description for that video, but I intend to, once I get a better video editor, to make a cooler thing. I mean, that was really, I just fucking overlaid the music, you know? I didn't actually do anything special, so I'll make a really cool one someday, I promise. It'll be convincing, you know, except for the lack of female units in the field. It'll be convincing. Yeah, but I haven't really talked a lot about my preference for all guard, so I'll say I like to have 1 or 2 people with all guard like I have right now, Koime and Senime. Though obviously I won't use Koime as much as Sen because it doesn't bother me if Senime gets annihilated. I mean, I don't mean that in a mean way, like, oh, it's Senime, I don't care if she gets annihilated, which you'd expect from me at this point, but that's not what I mean. Koime can die, and there's one way to prevent that. There is a item, and it is, well, I guess I'll explain it after this scene. After this scene. Mado and Xavier bring Kurohime to this cursed altar, and it's somewhere in Africa. And it's where the Soulbinder, or I think it's the Soulbinder. Anyway, that's where the forbidden yokai is sealed. She's pretty hot. Rance wants to fuck her. She corrupts you on touch. She, like, Oh gosh, it's kind of hard to explain. It's not really a disease. It's not really. It's just like. I don't know. You'll see it. It just makes you into a zombie. There you go. You're a zombie if you touch it. And later on, you'll see Rance weigh the pros and cons of becoming a zombie and being able to have sex with it. That's cute. But I'm pretty sure they're releasing it right here, and it creates a really unique and obnoxious unit. Oh god, it's they're not strong units at all. The Soulbinder units, I think they just refer to them as infected when you're fighting them on the field, and they're pretty decent sized. I'd say about 1,000 usually. Again, it's been a long time since I've played this, the default difficulty, but I think they're about 1,000, 800 to 1,000, and when they attack a unit of yours, it any units that it kills, like say Rance has 500 troops, it hits Rance and takes 50 of his troops away, it actually removes those 50 troops. They're gone. You can't replenish them. You have to re-recruit them, and like I said in a previous part, that's crippling on a higher difficulty because you have to spend the whole game building up your units like that. And for a 9999 Soulbinder unit to just fuck you up like that, it's really... Oh, man. I mean, it's pretty bad, but they don't explain that anywhere. They don't explain that mechanic to you. They don't explain that letting a Soulbinder unit hit your guys, you know, wrecks them so bad. So... I used to, way back, I didn't really realize what the Soulbinder units were doing until maybe my third playthrough. Because they're fairly small and they're easy to manage in your first play. But in my third playthrough, I was on a higher difficulty, and I allowed one of my muskets to be hit by a Soulbinder unit, and it had one troop. And I was just like, oh yeah? I've got to recruit all my musket units again? So... I started to catch on at that point what was happening. So now you guys know, in case you didn't. Maybe I'm just not as observant as other people, but you could see her there. They released her. Mado introduces her to the Soulbinder units. Well, yeah, I guess they will be the Soulbinder units soon here. I forgot what those tags are on her. They're supposed to ward off evil spirits. It's spirit tags from Pokemon, so well, they're based on the same thing. They're not the same. Well, maybe they are the same because they're based on the same thing, but you get my point. I don't really give you any background on her. They don't say what she used to be, if she was always like this, or anything like that. It's just scary to think that she may have once been an actual person or a different kind of yokai, and that later devolved into something like this, something so mindless, and scary, but... The Soulbinder goes through, touches a bunch of the Demon Army's units, and in a way, this is a bad thing for them because they're losing a lot of skilled people, you know? They're turning a bunch of decent people into this. And a bunch of the Shimazu soldiers hint at it. Well, I think just one in particular, who was a veteran of the last war between humans and yokai. This was used in that war, in that conflict, and 3G is also familiar with it. So it's not as bothersome as Kurohime to me, the Soulbinder, because I mean they retcon it into the story, I guess, but I don't know. It's much more fitting than Kurohime was because she is so fucking just thrown in there. I mean, my God. But I'll see you guys in the next.